Hi everyone, my name is Vaishali and this is the CareJana podcast. Here I am today with Dr. Vanitha Thulasiraman, who is a senior faculty member of the Art of Living Foundation, teaching sky breath meditation to both adults and youth. She is a 300-hour certified yoga instructor under Yoga Alliance as well. She holds a senior postdoctoral fellowship from Stanford University and American Cancer Society. She has been working as a senior scientist in biotech companies for over 2 decades. She lives in the Bay Area with her husband and 2 kids. One graduated from UC Berkeley, and the other is incoming junior in UC Riverside. Her daughter is currently working as a data engineer in Gap. Both her kids have been practicing Sky from a young age, and they both have their own startup, and they owe that to their Sky practice.
Thank you, Vaishali. That's just a generous introduction.
Oh, yeah, thank you for being here today. So my first question is, what specific goals and aspirations drive the work you engage in?
What specific goal and aspirations
Yeah.
do I have now? My goal and aspiration aligns with the founder of Art of Living and International Association for Human Values, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar. It aligns with his goal of bringing a smile in everyone's face. I feel that when everyone is happy, peaceful, and calm, then there is less chance of war, and people are so happy, and that's what they're going to share with others. So my aspiration aligns with, once again, with Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar.
Okay. Could you share a deeply personal or impactful story that inspired your involvement in this work?
I was I was a happy-go-lucky person, and I completed my postdoctoral fellowship from Stanford University. I married the love of my heart, had a beautiful daughter. But somewhere in the process of becoming a perfect scientist and a perfect mother, I lost my smile. And our work in my company, we went from 600 people to 60 people in a span of 3 months. So the fear of losing my job would keep me awake in the night. And even if I fell asleep, I would wake up in the middle of the night and struggle to go back to sleep. And hence, I would have a tough time waking up in the morning, and I would drag my feet to work. And at work, I would be thinking I'm not a good enough mom. And when I come home and I'm looking forward to spending time with my daughter, I'm thinking, oh, I should have planned my experiment differently. So at home, I'm thinking of work, and at work, I'm thinking of family. So I would make mistakes, and I was not really there either for my work or for my family. I was just lost. And the lack of sleep and the fear of losing my job increased my anxiety and panic attack. And slowly I was moving into depression. As a biochemist, I refused to take any medication because I know the side effects of these medications. So I was looking for something holistic, and that's when I came across the Sky Breath Meditation workshop that is taught through the Art of Living Part 1 program. So the very first day I did the Sky Breath meditation, I slept like a baby through the night. And by the end of the program, my smile was back. And within a month of doing the program, my manager, she walked up to me and she said, Vanitha, you're ready for more responsibilities, and gave me a promotion that I was waiting for a long time. And it's not that at work it got any better, because my colleagues, everybody was a little tense because nobody knew what was the future. But then as I started doing my sky practice meditation on a daily basis, I was was not worried about my future. I was more in the present moment. So I went from working 12-hour work schedule to 7-hour work schedule, and I was so productive in those 7 hours. And when I was with my daughter, I was fully with my daughter. And when I was at work, I was so present. So I would make less mistakes. I was very efficient. I had such clarity of mind, and my depression was out the window, and it totally transformed my life. And my daughter, when she went to Berkeley, she said, Mom, your smile in spite of all the challenges is what I'm going to take with me. And that was was music to my ears. And I owe that to the daily sky breath meditation work that I do on a daily basis. So it totally transformed my life from a depressed, um, disappointed, frustrated mom and scientist to high achieving scientist to a caring mom and a supporting life partner. So it was one of the best gift I gave myself, and that's what inspired me to become an art of living teacher. I felt there are many moms out there who are struggling to hold both their career and also taking care of their kids. And I felt that everybody should experience something that brings so much of peace, energy, and at the same time uplifting. So yeah, this is one of my turning point in my life. And when I was moving through the depression, I never felt that I would come out of it. And I'm just amazed that without using any drugs, any medication, I could just use the breath to come out of the low point in my life.
Wow, that's so inspiring. Yeah. And I would totally agree. I also do Sky Korea, and I think it gives everybody a chance to like reinvent themselves, right? Because it provides them like a platform to, network with very influential people, and also it also allows people to, really connect with themselves spiritually, right? Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I used to think I am the body. I did not understand that I'm more than the body. I was identified myself with only my appearance. I did not realize that other than my body, I also have breathe, and I also have my own mind and intellect, memory, ego, and the self. So I had identified myself to the body so much that if I gained weight, I would just lose my confidence because yeah, I attached everything to my physical body. But then after doing through this workshop, I realized I'm more than the body, and I was able to hone into other layers of my existence. And because our body goes through its phases, especially for a woman, when she's giving birth to a baby versus menopause, postmenopause, we have so many things where our hormones are changing. And so when I connected to my inner self, it gave me the courage, the confidence, the enthusiasm to move through the challenges, which is part of life.
Yeah, and definitely. And for women who are balancing their career as well as like home life, it's very hard, especially for, the busy jobs that everyone have nowadays, especially living in Silicon Valley. So I would highly recommend for people to at least, take a 5 or 10 minutes per day and, just do yoga or meditate, right? And a few days ago it was International Yoga Day, right?
Yeah, yeah, we had we many of the people in the community gathered together in the village square, and we all did the yoga, and people felt good because yoga is one of the ways to calm the mind, but you can always use breath and meditation. There are so many ways to calm the mind. Yes,
Yep,
really. I'm glad that the world realizes the value of yoga and has this allocated one day to celebrate the Yoga Day, the International Yoga Day. Just like Mom's Day, Father's Day, we have International Yoga Day.
definitely. Yeah. But I think International Yoga Day should be every day.
Agreed, totally. Just like Mom's Day is every day, but you take
Yeah.
one day to make sure that you connect with Mom. But you're connecting with Mom almost in one way or the other every day, but you still make one day special.
Yeah,
Uh,
just like a birthday comes every
yeah,
year.
yes, correct. Totally, Vishali.
Yeah. When reflecting on your work in Art of Living, what are some of the most formidable challenges you've encountered and have you navigated through them?
The one of the because people somehow thought maybe 20 years ago they thought meditation was Hinduism. I remember when I was in 92, when I was doing my PhD in Oklahoma State, I had invited my friends for yoga, and they said, "Oh my God, I won't do yoga. I don't want to become Hindu," because they associated yoga with Hindu. Yes, so I think, but now yoga is a multi-billion dollar business in United States, where people know that anyone can do yoga, and just by being doing yoga, one doesn't become Hindu. Yes. And when 20 years ago, when I was talking about meditation, people thought, "Oh, I don't want to meditate because I don't want to become Hindu." Yes. So I think people have, I mean, thousands of publications have shown the effect of meditation and breath work on improving one's physical, mental, and emotional health. So we have crossed the bridge where people thought meditation was Hindu. Yes, so I feel that when we don't hesitate to eat cuisines from different parts of the world or adapt technology from different parts of the world, why not use tools and techniques that uplifts one at the level of the mind and brings peace? So yoga and meditation and Ayurveda is a gift from India to the world. So if you do not become Chinese by having Chinese cuisine, then just by doing yoga or meditation, you do not become Indian. Yes. So
Def-
when we can adapt technology from other countries, and if you can adopt cuisines from other country, why not use tools and techniques that uplift you, irrespective of which country it originated from? Yes.
Definitely.
So yeah. So that my roadblock was people associated breathwork and meditation to Hindu or Indian. And I think thanks to Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar and also Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who made meditation as something very cool. And he feels that if every corner of the of India, every corner of the world uses cell phone to connect at the physical level, why not we do meditation to connect at the spiritual level? Um, I hope you can hear me. I think there is some internet issue. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But can you hear me, Vaishali?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I totally agree.
Yeah. Does
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. I
I
was
said,
just
does it answer your
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I was just saying, like, as a young teenager myself, I think people nowadays, like, especially, high schoolers, they don't really know how to manage stress. And that's like when they are most vulnerable to, like, all the like side effects of being stressed, like depression, as well as, over drinking or something, substance use and all that. And although it's known for the, teenagehood is known to be like, oh, it's you can do anything you want, no one will care, right? You're young, like just be free. But I think what people don't understand is that they're putting their futures at risk, and they're also um not really, thinking about themselves, right? Because doing all of that, sure, it makes you look cool for like a moment, but it can seriously harm your body for the future coming years, right? So,
Very true, because my daughter, when she went to UC Berkeley, she said, when it comes to Friday, the students are so stressed out that for one evening they want to forget about stress. So they have mindless drinking, mindless sex, drugs, smoking, weeds, so that they can forget about stress for one evening, and then they wake up with a headache. And she felt that if everyone can meditate, then it is easier for people to achieve their dreams more quickly and not wake up with a headache. And that's why she was inspired to introduce sky breath meditation to the staff in UC Berkeley. And when the staff took the program, they said the students need it. And so she introduced sky breath meditation for credit. It's called Step Out of Overdrive in UC Berkeley, and it is offered to the students for credits. It is for the students by the student. It's called decal. And she was saying that when she introduced it in the first semester, the course was full with a waiting list, and then she introduced it for she offered two programs in a single semester, and both were full with waiting lists. So it is now she graduated from UC Berkeley, but there are enough Sky School officers who are students who are continuing with the great success because it is the need of the hour. So you're very right, Vaishali. There are many ways of handling stress. There are negative ways of handling stress, which is smoking, having drugs, mindlessly watching, browsing. And there are healthy ways of handling stress, and that is yoga, walking in the nature, working out, and also having a good night's sleep. And breath meditation and yoga are healthy ways of handling stress. So, unless we educate at a younger age the healthy ways of handling stress, the kids are only going to do what they've seen their parents do. If they see their parents stressed and screaming and drinking alcohol, then the kids will do the same because that's what they've learned from adults. And their parents have learned from their parents how the negative ways of handling stress. So we cannot blame anyone, but I think all of us can actively educate people, be it in the schools or universities, healthy ways of handling stress because stress is part of life, and we just need to know how to handle it.
Yeah, and I think as I mentioned before, like with the labels, it's also like as you mentioned, influenced by family, but also like peer influence, like social influences, like the relationships, and I think especially um I guess like, like maybe a partner, like if someone starts dating someone and they become like really toxic. So people should realize that they wouldn't have to sacrifice their own like, beliefs for someone else who might be, a bad influence. Or I'm not sure if it's bad influence, but like if they could put harm in your body, I guess. But yeah.
Yes, my daughter was sharing that she has friends of all background,
Hmm.
but she has so much confidence in herself that she does not yield into peer pressure unless she feels it's healthy for her physically, mentally, and emotionally. So, doing the yoga, breath work, and meditation has given her so much confidence in herself that she's not easily swayed by the peer pressure. Yes, and I feel that with the practice of sky breath meditation, yoga, and silence retreats, I have so much confidence in myself that I don't rely on others to boost my confidence. So I feel these tools not only help you manage stress, it also boosts your confidence in yourself, and increases the creativity, enthusiasm in life because it boosts your energy. So I think it should be just like how we brush teeth for dental hygiene. I feel everyone should take some time to do breath work and meditation for mental hygiene.
Definitely. And I guess with the next question, what novel approaches has Art of Living embraced to confront complex issues or adversities, like we mentioned before?
Yes, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar is so inspiring. He has resolved 500-year-old conflict in India between Hindus and the Muslims, because in the India was invaded many, many times by um, foreign countries because it had so much of wealth. It was very rich in all aspects. So everybody had an eye on India. So India was looted many times. And at that time, the Mughals and the Muslims invaded India, and they destroyed the ancient temples and constructed um, uh, what do you call mosques. So there was a conflict in certain parts of India, saying that there was an ancient Hindu temple and it was demolished, or a mosque was built on top of it, and so both the Hindus and Muslims had that area had constant conflict, and so it affected their children, and several generations were caught up in this conflict. So Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar took time and worked with both the parties and explained to them the consequence of this conflict, and he brought both the groups together and alleviated the doubts and the tension and the misbelief, and he got both the groups in the same platform, and this 500 old conflict got resolved just last year, or is it this year?
Oh
I
yeah,
think last.
Ayodhya Ram Mandir, right?
Yeah, Ayodhya Ram Mandir.
Wow.
Yes, and then he has resolved conflicts in many countries in the world, and any country who think they're out of ways to peacefully resolve the conflict, I strongly urge them to reach out to Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. His presence itself brings so much harmony and peace, and both the parties which are involved in conflict somehow want to listen to him because he emanates so much of peace, and he cares for both the side. And when people understand that he cares for both the side of both the people involved in the conflict, they automatically listen to his guidance. And there's a FARC. Uh, Maybe I'll share more details. Let me search up. I don't remember exactly the wording, so I don't want to quote wrong. So there is FARC conflict. I'm just searching up as we are doing it. Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Yeah. Yeah, he resolved a 50-year-old long civil war in Colombia, and where generations and youth were all affected by this conflict, and where let me share, it's a 52-year-old civil war formally ended. I'm just going to read off of it. Um, Formally ended, read more, with the signing of the peace agreement between the FARC and the Colombian government in September 2016. And the key player for this peace agreement was by Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. So he was, the Art of Living was invited by the President Juan Manuel Santos and FARC to the ceremony. And maybe I can share the link for it with you, and maybe you can share it to the to your audience. So he has resolved many conflicts just by being and bringing both the parties of the conflict in the same table.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and I think definitely for like I guess this can be applied to like any like being an idealistic leader when you manage teams at work or even just in general like you need if you think about both of the sides equally and think about each viewpoint, then there won't be much havoc or toxic environments present in the workplace or, just in general, like in any like class, like anything. So yeah, I applaud for what he's doing. Um, so, drawing from your own journey, what invaluable insights or pearls of wisdom would you impart to individuals embarking on similar paths as you?
You know, what I really liked, inspired by Gurudev's Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, is he said every child has, in a very young age, has to be educated in almost all religions in the world. Yes, so they have, every child has a knowledge about all the religions, so that they understand that the spiritual core of every religion preaches truthfulness, hard work, compassion, love, for because we're all human beings. One can come from America, just like there can be an African lion, Indian lion, but lion is a lion. Similarly, we are human beings. We could be from different countries, from different religion, but we are human beings first. And then comes the country and the religion. And he says, even when you take religion, the spiritual core of every religion, as I was sharing, inculcates all those human values that we long for, like honesty, compassion, hard work, trustworthy. But the ritual part of the religion is different in every religion. Like, for instance, in India, which is a tropical country, it is hot, especially in southern India, it is very hot. And, people eat out of hand because water is warm and they can easily wash their hand. But in cold countries, like in northern part of the world, it's so cold that the running water is so cold that you don't want to wash your hands. So that's why you want cutleries, so that you don't have to wash your hand after each meal. So if you see, the religion of every country follows what is conducive to that country. So if you see in Pakistan, or in in countries which are desert area, for them they value the moon because the sun is scorching hot. So moon is very cool. So in their flag they'll have moon because they value the moon. But if you see Alaskan countries, or where it's very cold, they value the sun. So you will see there, they, because they want the warmth of the sun. So the ritual of the religion could be different depending on from which part of the world you're from. But the spiritual core of every religion preaches the same. Yes. So if every child is educated in all religion that is there in the world, then there will not be any conflict because saying my religion is superior than your religion, because
Mhm.
every religion preaches the same spiritual values. The culture is different because that part of the world, that culture is suitable. That's why they say in Greek, be like a Greek, right? In India, be like an Indian, because the clothes they wear is conducive to that weather. Yes, so I
Definitely.
really like the way he has shared that, if every child is educated about all religion in the world, and if every child meditates, there'll be no war on earth. Yes. And then how, and then this, he compares the banana peel to the religious rituals, and the banana fruit to the spiritual core. And what he was saying, he's saying is, people have thrown away the fruit and they are fighting over the peel, saying that my religion is better than your religion because they are just caught up in the ritual aspect. So that is very inspiring for me. And I think everything he says is very inspiring, but this specifically strikes a chord. And I'm just totally a big fan of Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar. It's 25 years ago, if someone said, "Oh, follow Gurudev," I never believed in gurus, because, like any profession, if you say, doctors, there are good doctors and there are doctors who are crooks. Just because you met a crook doctor doesn't mean that every doctor is a crook. So everything people make a business out of it. So people thought, oh, being a guru, I can earn money. So there are gurus who may not be really authentic, but and so I never believed in gurus because I thought they're all crooks until I met Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, and he is amazingly inspired. He walks the talk. Yes, so I feel one should do their homework, and if you find the guru that inspires you, go for it, because to if you want to become an expert in piano, you need a coach, right? You can always learn through YouTube, through the web, through browsing, but it'll take you a very long time to become an expert in piano, right? So to become an expert over your mind, which is so abstract, because piano, you can touch it, you can hear it, you can feel it, and still you need a coach. But mind is so abstract, you cannot touch it, you cannot see it. To have a say or be an expert on mind, you definitely need a coach. And my coach is Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar.
Yeah, wonderful. And as you mentioned, diversity and inclusivity is very important, especially living in an area where you find a lot of religions and cultures together. And yeah, as you mentioned, people can judge, but you need to learn to ignore them.
Yeah.
And maybe if people could change their mindsets or perspectives a little bit, this world would be so much better. But I think also, as you mentioned in the last part of the segment, you know how meditation brings peace and happiness. Um, Personally, I think it also helps you stabilize your career and be focused better. Because personally, I did it all throughout high school, and my experience has been that I came out of a very anxious mind, and going into college, I think I've been able to surround myself with very, I guess, optimistic people and people who I would like love to be vulnerable with and who won't judge. So as you might have heard the saying, you attract, right? You don't need to chase, you attract. So, doing meditation, you'll attract the right kinds of people and you'll also get the benefits.
Absolutely. Because if you're peaceful, then you attract peace. And if you're loving, you attract loving people. But if you're irritable, angry, then even the person who comes next to you might be peaceful at heart, but you say or do things that also makes them angry, though they are peaceful at heart. So what you are inside is what you're going to attract. And if you feel happy, feel the abundance, you're going to attract abundance. And for me, meditation is one thing that makes me happy, peaceful, and I feel I have everything that I want. And it has always attracted abundance around me. And I also have a good fortune to interact with you, Vaishali. You're so young and you're an entrepreneur and you're a dancer and you have achieved so much at such a young age that it's very, very inspiring. And I'm not saying that you didn't have challenges, you have a lot of challenges in life, and still you move through the challenges with a smile. And now you're ready, you're poised to enter the life of college and being independent and staying away from family. And I know for sure you'll do awesome, Vaishali.
Oh yeah, yeah. I sorry it cut out a little bit, but yeah, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And are we done or do we have anything
Yeah.
else?
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you for being here today, and I hope whoever's listening to this podcast will apply it to themselves and maybe find a guru.
Ah, yes, my pleasure. And you know, guru is anyone from whom you learn.
Mhm.
And I mean, your mom is your first teacher or guru because she's taught you so much. So you can even learn from birds. You know, the swan is a bird that can, if you give a mixture of milk and water, it'll just take the milk and leave the water. So you
Wow.
can learn from animals, you can learn from your fellow human being. Everybody is a teacher, but a guru is someone who uplifts you at the level of the mind, body, and spirit. So choose your guru wisely. Yeah.
And the
And if I
guru
were
won't leave you.
yes, absolutely. Yes, thank you, Vaishali, for this opportunity, and
Yeah,
I hope to connect with you more.
definitely.